So an exciting contest is just around the corner. The Barbarians taking on the World 15. Now this one will be kicking off at 1 AM New Zealand time on the Monday morning. There are a lot of great players taking part in this contest. There's been a few question marks about why certain players aren't included in these squads. Mainly it is down to the schedules of other competitions running. That's why some players weren't available for these sides, but they have still put together some brilliant players from mainly the Japanese top league. Few players from the Premiership, URC sides who have already been knocked out of the competition. Should be a very awesome matchup. But first of all, looking through at the Barbarians starting lineup. It will be Alex Waller at number 1, number 2, Nick Dolly, and then number 3, Enrique Pierretto. Now, because it's the Barbarians, we don't actually know what role these men are going to be playing. Of course, they're going to be taking part in the scrums, etc. But the Barbarians, they could try a cross kick to a prop. You just never know what to expect from a Barbars team. Definitely not one that is coached by Eddie Jones. Normally has a few tricks up the sleeve. Looking through at the locking duo. Now, it was recently announced that this man is going to be retiring from international duty. That is Alun Wyn Jones. It's a shame to see him go. He's going to have a great experience here playing for the Barbarians. Perhaps not for the last time. I know that Barbarians Rugby normally bring a few players out of retirement every once in a while, but the experience that Alun Wyn Jones has could be a very handy player out there on the park. And then Stephen Lewis there at number 5. In the loose forward trio, another Welsh player, it is Aaron Wainwright. Number 7 will be Kai Yamamoto. And then at number 8, they have gone with Stephen Luatua, the Bristol Bears representative. Fantastic player, has a lot of strength no matter where he plays in the world. Is always one of the players to watch out for. Then their backline. Number 9, it will be Jack Maunder, with number 10 being Quade Cooper. Now, I believe this will be the first semi-international, if we want to call it, game that Quade Cooper has played in since ending up with his injury for the Wallabies during last year's Rugby Championship. He has been playing in Japan since then. This will be a big opportunity for Quade to see how he is progressing heading towards that Rugby World Cup. Number 11, Tavita Lee, very dangerous player. Excited to see what he can do in the centres. This is a pretty awesome combination. Number 12, Samu Karevi. Also a little bit in the same boat as Quade Cooper. Hasn't played international rugby for quite some time. Karevi, excited to see him back at the helm. And then also number 13, Seta Tamani Valu. Now this is a combination that could be very entertaining to watch. A lot of power, a lot of skills there. The offloading game, she'll be going all over the place in that backline, which is exactly what the Barbarians game style normally is like. So I'm intrigued to see how those two work together. In that midfield, number 14, Adam Radwan, player with a huge amount of pace, normally plays in the Gallagher Premiership. And then at number 15, Gareth Anscombe, the last man in the starting side for the Barbarians. Now looking through at their bench, it will be Harry Thacker, Tom West, and the South African Carlos Sadie, Rob Simmons, the Australian, at number 19, and then Sione Vailanu gets the number 20 spot. The back replacements, number 21, Francis Hogard, 22, Aaron Cruden, one of the Kiwis who have made their way into the side. And then number 23, to close out the Barbarians, it will be Sam Johnson. But that is their side. Now looking through at the World 15. Now there were a lot of question marks about who was going to be in this side. Being coached by Steve Hansen, a pretty handy coach to have. We were wondering who he would be putting in his side. Now it is confirmed. Number 1, Wyn Jones. So the funny thing is, he's going to be going up against quite a few of his Welsh teammates in that Barbarian side. Number 2, Fraser Brown, and number 3, Ollie Kebble. The Scottish combination of 2 and 3 taking part in the World XV front row. Api Ratunayarawa, the Fijian, at number 4. Then number 5, it is Harry Hawkins. So you'd have to say probably advantage goes to the Barbarians there, just having Alun Wyn Jones' experience in that Barbarians lineup. But the question is whether or not his experience matches up with the Fijian flair that Ratunayarawa offers. So I'm looking forward to seeing the lineouts throughout this one. Sebastian Negri starts at number 6 with Michel Lamaro at 7. And Viliami Mata does get the start at number 8. Then at number 9, it will be the Australian Nick Phipps as the starting scrum half. Number 10, they have gone with Adam Hastings. So a new combination that we will get to see in action. Number 11, Seba Unkosi. Now, a few people were surprised to see that man's name out there on the left wing side, but because he does play for one of the URC teams that didn't get too far in the competition, it did mean that he had enough time for the turnaround to then be able to take part in this World XV. But that is why you're not seeing the likes of maybe Leinster players in these two sides for either the Barbarians or the World 15, seeing as they did have their game just recently up against La Rochelle, and they are another team, of course, that we don't see any names from. Then in the midfield, it will be Nari Laumape at 12. Kiwi, who did head to France, went to Stade Francais. Haven't heard too much about him since then, but I believe he was actually doing a little stint in Japan. Excited to see what power he can bring into the midfield. Number 13, it will be Semi Radradra. So the midfield combinations for both of these sides, Karevi and Tamani Valu versus Laumape and Radradra. I mean, I just hope that the fly halves can get the ball out to their centres, because if they can, we're going to see some big hits, we're going to see some flair from both sides, and it could be an absolute try-scoring fest, which normally is the case with a Barbarians game. But if you chuck this World XV out there with so many star players in their backline, could be the case for them as well. Number 14, Israel Folau. Haven't seen too much of him since he did get injured in the game for Tonga. I believe he has been playing in the Japanese top league. He's normally a very handy man under the high ball. And then number 15, Charles Piatal, to close out the starting side for the World 15. So a very strong backline, some good forwards to back it up. And speaking of forwards, they got a few more coming off their bench. Number 16, Elliot Dean. Number 17, Alan Dell. And then number 18, Marcus Street. And it will be Nicolo Canoni at number 19. Number 20, Geordie Murphy. Number 21, Bryn Hall, the ex-Crusader. And also Māori All Black scrum half. Number 22, Reece Patchell. And then the last man in the side, 23, Kiminali Rasaku. A little bit of Fijian flair coming off the bench late in this contest. But like I mentioned, it is going to be a 1 a.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. I am extremely excited for this matchup. Not only the day before do we get to see the Gallagher Premiership final and the URC final, but then less than 24 hours later, we get to see these two sides in action. It's going to make for a very exciting weekend of rugby union. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be doing the live commentary on the channel, so be sure to stick around for that as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Do let me know your score predictions in the comments as well. And I will see you all for the next one.